So this is problem number 6 from the 2022 AP Stats for your response set. And number 6 is always the investigative task. So it's going to have some stuff that's statistical in nature, but not necessarily content within the course that you should be able to continue to reason through. So we'll talk about that when we get to it within this particular problem. It's always a little lengthier than the rest of the FRQs. So you typically want to dedicate 25 to 30 minutes of your 90-minute allotment of time for the FRQ section. 25 to 30 minutes of it you want to go toward number 6. Weighted more heavily than every other free response question as well. So 6 is definitely the one to worry about the most when you're taking the AP Stats test. And in 2022, number 6 said that to compare the success rates for treating allergies at 2 clinics that specialize in treating allergies, researchers selected random samples of patients' records from the 2 clinics. The following table summarizes the data. So Clinic A, unsuccessful, successful. Clinic B, unsuccessful, successful. We've got the totals. Makes sense. Two-way table, right? Complete the following table by recording the relative frequencies of successful and unsuccessful treatments for each clinic. So relative frequencies are simply proportions. So what were the proportion of unsuccessful treatments at Clinic A? Well, that would be 51 divided by 139. Successful would be 88 divided by 139. And then for Clinic B, 33 divided by 68 for unsuccessful, and 35 divided by 68 for successful. So as long as you remembered what relative frequencies were, that was not that difficult to do. Calculator comes out, helps you complete that pretty easily. The second part of Part A says, based on the relative frequency table, which clinic is more successful in treating allergy sufferers? Justify your answer. Well, obviously, Clinic A has a higher success rate than Clinic B does. Because of that, Clinic A seems like it's more successful at treating allergy sufferers. Part B says, based on the design of the study, would a statistically significant result allow the researchers to conclude that receiving treatments at the clinic we selected in Part A causes a higher percentage of successful treatments than at the other clinic? Explain your answer. Well, first off, this is an observational study, and it's not a well-designed experiment. We're not going to be able to just decide upon causation when we do an observational study. A well-designed experiment would have allergy sufferers randomly assigned to receive treatment at one of the 2 clinics. That's not what happened here. It could very well be the case that maybe Clinic B only accepts patients that have severe allergies, and Clinic A predominantly accepts patients that have minor allergies. If that's the case, of course Clinic A's overall success rate is going to be higher, making Clinic A look like the better option, but Clinic B might just have more severe allergy patients than Clinic A does, right? So we would definitely have to have some randomization in an experimental design in order to try to decide if Clinic A is in fact more successful overall at treating allergy sufferers. So here's the part of the problem that's maybe not something that you've seen much of previously. So they say that a physician who worked at both clinics believed that it was important to separate the patients into severity of the allergies, severe or mild. So the physician constructed the following Mosaic Plot. So the values in the Mosaic Plot represent the number of patients who were either successfully treated or unsuccessfully treated in each allergy severity group at each clinic. So the value 78, which is right here, represents the number of patients successfully treated in the mild group within Clinic A. Yeah, that makes sense. So we've got the dark shading being successful treatments, the unshaded being unsuccessful, and we've got the mild allergy sufferers on the left and the severe allergy sufferers on the right. Area is kind of significant here. You'll notice the overall area of the Mosaic Plot for Clinic A is bigger than the overall area of the Mosaic Plot for Clinic B. Clinic A treated more patients. We can confirm that by going back and looking, right? 139 to 68. Another thing that you'll notice is that the mild width for Clinic A is significantly larger than the severe width for Clinic A, whereas for Clinic B, the opposite is true. We have the mild width being fairly narrow and the severe being significantly larger. So the area is supposed to give you an idea as to how much data sat within each of the, in this case, we've got 8 different portions of the Mosaic plot. So it says, based on the Mosaic plot, the physician concluded the following. For mild allergy sufferers, Clinic B was more successful in treating allergies. For severe allergy sufferers, Clinic B was more successful in treating allergies. And what we are asked to do is, for each clinic, which allergy severity is treated more successfully, justify your answer. So for Clinic A, I did a calculation for mild, so they had 78 successes out of the total 26 plus 78, so 0.75 as the proportion of mild allergy sufferers that were treated successfully at Clinic A. Similar calculation for severe allergies for Clinic A. So 10 divided by 10 plus 25 gives us a success rate of 0.2857 for severe allergy sufferers at Clinic A. So since 0.75 is bigger than 0.28, Clinic A is more successful in treating minor allergies. Do a similar set of calculations for Clinic B, 11 successes in the 12 total mild cases for patients at Clinic B, 92% success rate for mild allergies at Clinic B, and then severe 24 successes out of 24 plus 32 total, a 43% success rate for severe allergy sufferers at Clinic B. So since 0.9167 is greater than 0.4286, Clinic B is also more successful in treating minor allergies. For each clinic, which allergy severity is more likely to be treated? Justify your answer. So the total number of minor allergy sufferers at Clinic A would be 26 plus 78, and then divided by the total number of people at Clinic A gives us 0.7482, so about 75% of the patients at Clinic A have minor allergies. If they didn't have minor allergies, they had severe, so rather than doing another calculation like the one I just showed here, which is definitely not wrong, I just chose to use a complement, right? 1 minus the proportion we already determined is going to give us the remaining proportion that had to be the severe allergy sufferers at Clinic A. So Clinic A is more likely to treat minor allergies because we've got a higher proportion of them than we do for severe. And then at Clinic B, similar set of calculations for minor allergy sufferers, 1 plus 11, so 12 of them total, divided by the total number of patients Clinic B saw. So only 18% of the patients at Clinic B suffered from minor allergies. Similar calculation to get the percentage or the proportion that suffered from severe allergies. So 1 minus the proportion that suffered from minor gives us about 83%, 82% of their patients suffering from severe allergies. Clinic B is much more likely to treat severe allergies due to this proportion being significantly larger than this one. Using those answers from Part C, give a reasonable explanation of why the more successful clinic identified in the second part of Part A is the same or different from the physician's conclusion that Clinic B is more successful in treating both severe and mild allergies. So we kind of talked about this when we were reasoning through Part B, but here it is as the concluding part of the problem. So Clinic B is more successful in treating allergies than Clinic A. They have an overall higher success rate. That's indicated here, right? They're better at treating minor allergies. They're better at treating severe allergies, right? So referencing those calculations from C, Part 1 of Part C, Clinic B's overall success rate is better for both minor allergies and for severe allergies. Clinic A has a higher overall success rate due to the fact that 75%, I believe that was the proportion, right? That's technically not the proportion, that's the percentage. 0.7482 is the proportion of patients at Clinic A that only suffer from minor allergies. So because they're treating predominantly mild cases, their overall success rate is higher because Clinic B is treating patients that predominantly suffer from severe allergies. So in conclusion, I think you're going to agree that we should agree with the physician's conclusion, and that's that Clinic B is more successful in treating both severe and mild allergies.